Hey guys, what's up? It's the Merc here from Poolshed Games, and today is another episode of The Quest for Gaming at College. This time around, we are finally, restarting our Mutant Epoch game. And we kind of needed to do that because we took some time off because of spring break and midterms, kind of the middle of the semester. This has happened about every year I've been up here, well, every semester I've been up here, and we've had a gaming group. We get to a point where we just hit the middle of the semester, and it just seems like everybody gets loaded down with homework and papers they have to write, tests they have to study for. You hit burnout, and you don't want to do anything. So you take like a week or two, and you just kind of like stop. You just stop doing pretty much everything but schoolwork and whatever you do to relax. And that has been the past like 2 weeks, and then there was spring break. But now spring break is behind us. We're coming into the last we're into the last half of this semester, which means I forget. I looked. There's only like 4 or 5 weeks left. I want to say we go until like the second week of May, so it's coming more quickly to a close than I had anticipated, and I thought that it would. And the thing is, at the end of this semester, our D&D group we didn't meet this semester, but the D&D group we completely dismantled because the gentleman who is our DM, he's graduating, and one of the other players is graduating. So that would leave just me and my other friend that we played. And then there was another group of individuals who had played Rifts here on campus, and as far as I know, I think almost every single one of them are graduating, so there goes that game. And they were potential players for my games as well. As of the group that I have been currently running, Mutant Epoch, and I ran the Dark Heresy with, we'll all be here at least for one more semester. We're going to lose one of our players after next semester. He's going to graduate. And then next year around this time, most of us will be getting ready to graduate and move on into that big, scary adult world that some of the players I have in my group have never been in, and that I spent 6 years in before I came back to college. So I get to go back out into it. That'll be great fun. But that's a year away, so I'm not overly concerned with that yet. Coming back to the game that we are restarting, we're going to be doing Mutant Epoch, and I've decided to go story light because the group tends to be kind of glossy-eyed and distracted when you try to give them a deep, meaningful story, as frustrating as that is sometimes. Basically, all I'm going to do is there are some really fantastic random dungeon generators out there that produce some great dungeon maps. I'm going to produce just a couple of random maps for dungeons, and going to run dungeon crawls for the rest of the semester. I have a light story idea that I'm going to use to tie it all together, which is basically it's either going to be an abandoned research facility or some kind of an abandoned derelict ship, either floating in the irradiated waters of the ocean or somewhere in the irradiated wasteland that the players are going to find themselves on. I'm going to include some kind of a method for new characters to be brought into the game as characters die, or as new people might join our group. And the other thing I'm going to do is that same mechanic I'm going to have so that players can have more than one character, like cached, and whatever character they want to run for the adventure, they can pick. And what I'm going to do there is they're not going to be able to switch like every night, especially if they're in the middle of a floor or a middle of exploring a dungeon. But if they go back to the area where their base is going to be, or if an adventure ends and they want to swap their character out, they'll be able to do that. I'm gonna track experience differently for everybody's character. So if they have one character that they play for most of the game, that'll end up having a lot more experience than other characters that they have that they might not have been using. So it'll be interesting to see how that mechanic works out. I've never done a game where I've let the players have like a bank of characters that they could choose from at the beginning of an adventure or whatever. But I just feel like with the way this game is going to be set up, with the light story, the more focus on action, kind of exploring the area I put them in, and finding loot and stuff, it'll be more interesting to have more characters. Also, if they have more characters banked and like waiting, if a character dies, because I'm not pulling any punches, if one of their characters dies, they won't have to roll up a new one on the spot. They can pick one of the ones that they have in the bank, which will make it easier for all of us, and it won't slow down game night a super great deal. So that's the plan. That's how we're going to restart it next week. I'll let you know how it's going, because we'll have a game or two in under our belts. And that's going to do it here for us at Poolshed Games. Hope you guys liked the video. If you did, give us a thumbs up. That always helps. Subscribe. We appreciate that. And share us with your friends. We'll see you next time here at Poolshed Games.